Oop, we're live on YouTube.
Exciting.
It is very exciting.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just waiting for Christy to like give me the thumbs up.
It's hard to do with when she's a seal.
Right?
Madam President, we are ready.
There
Okay.
you go. Okay.
Today is Monday, November 9th, and I call this meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. I'm sorry for our late start. This is a regular meeting of the Chagrin Falls Village Council. Since we're on Zoom, just as a full disclosure, as we get started, thank you for joining us. If we run into any issues with Zoom, we will attempt to reconnect for 20 minutes. If we can't get all of council onto the meeting, we will then have to reschedule to finish any pending business. Just as a reminder, we will take comments from the public during our traditional public comment period at the end of the meeting. Those joining us on Zoom and by telephone will also be offered an opportunity. Okay, COVID has been a thing in 2020. It's ruined some fun things we had planned, but today we get to welcome Prince Max, Officer Nice, and Chief Dasik to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. This would be virtual Chief Dasik, not live Chief Dasik. So.
Should we have been?
Does it come with volume?
Should we have been pledging?
Quiet version.
Should we do that again?
Hey, Christy,
Hard to
It's a
hear.
strong and silent type.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, you did. I heard it all. Does that count?
Oh,
Did you mute all and then not mute, and including yourself?
maybe it's like a dog whistle. No.
Okay, let's try this one more time.
Okay, one more time.
One more time. We can do this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
Oh, God.
Liberty and justice for all.
Justice for all.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Okay. I would like to ask the clerk of council, Mr. Bloom, to please do the roll call.
DiBernardo,
Here?
Evans, Grube,
Here.
Newell,
Here.
Rocky,
Here.
Rogoff,
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Can I please have a motion to excuse Mrs. Evans from tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Newell, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Okay. Minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't update my thing. We did not have minutes, did we?
No, we don't.
No.
Sorry. Report of the mayor.
Thank you. I have two things tonight. I'd ask that we call an administration and comp meeting, the purpose of which is to review the recommendation of the administration for the annual cost of living increases, as well as to discuss the annual insurance contract, health insurance contract. If you could give me a date, I need to have Tom Warble and Bob Smith on that call, because we will be recommending a move to a different insurance company this year. And so there'll be two items on the agenda. It shouldn't take that long. It should be fairly straightforward. That's one item. And the second item, as you saw in your council package, we're making some sub-grants. We were allocated a substantial amount of money for fighting COVID after we recovered all of our expenses and all of our anticipated expenses. We had some additional monies left over that I'm recommending that we allocate to where to those parties that will do the most good for our community and our residents in keeping them healthy and assuring that the schools can open. One of those grants is to the school to buy 1,700 desk dividers, and the other is to the two preschools in the area, again for PPE, and to the 3 hospitals are emergency service transports to Hillcrest, Volusia, and Geauga. And that allocation was made roughly in the percentages to which we transport patients. I don't have anything else to report. The engineer will cover the West Washington Street project updates where that's concerned, as well as discussing the how we arrived at the OPCW grant request. It's also on the agenda tonight.
Fantastic.
That's the end of the mayor's report.
Any questions for the mayor before we go on? Okay. Report of the finance director, Mr. Bloom.
I have no report tonight, Madam President.
And the check scanning is going well?
Going very well, yes. We've been using it now for almost a month, and we've had no problems with the machinery or the software.
Perfect.
Working well.
Fabulous. Thank you for following up on that.
Mhm.
And can you confirm we have no members of the public who wish to speak to the legislative docket tonight?
We do not.
Perfect. Okay, then. Report of the law director, Mr. Markowitz.
Well, thank you. I do have one item on the litigation docket. Last week, I sent you the Supreme Court's ruling on our central tax collection on the net profits tax. The Supreme Court upheld the ability of the state legislature to adopt a law that would impose the obligation on the cities and villages to allow for filing with a central facility for the state, and allowed the state to administer that process, which could include having hearings and making dispositions of tax matters. But they found that the state did not have the power to impose a tax on the villages and cities for the cost of administering that. So they couldn't impose that 0.5% tax. I haven't heard anything since the decision about what the legislature's plans are about that ruling, but I'm sure there'll be something that'll be coming to the legislature probably by January. So it was a mixed decision. It was no surprise based on the lower court's decisions as to the state's power to be able to regulate how you administer your tax, or they administer it for you. So that's it. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. It was a pretty straightforward decision. There was a little bit of a dissent, which actually would have said they could collect the fees also. So that's it for the litigation docket. One other thing, I've been checking time to time on the gun litigation that's going on in Summit County. And since May, there's been no decision by the judge on the motions for summary judgment. I don't know whether there's some implied sitting on it for some reason or not, but it's been, let's see, that's 6 months now since the briefs were submitted, and the judge hasn't ruled on that. So we'll see how that goes. And I think there might be some other rulings in the state that'll come out in other courts, and then it'll go up through the appellate process. And that's it.
Dale,
Yeah.
I have a question on the first one, the centralizing of the tax collection. We're using Rita now, correct, for our income tax collection?
Correct.
We do.
Does Rita charge a fee? How does it support its cost of all of the accounting?
Yes. Yeah, there's a fee that they charge to all the members. And I don't remember what the fee is. Dave might remember it.
They charge a retainer of 3% on everything they distribute, and then they reconcile it later. It usually ends up being a net fee of about 1.5% per year
Great.
for everything they do.
And the state was hoping to collect 5%?
No,
0.5.
0.5.
0.5.
But only for the net profits taxes where filings were submitted to the state rather than to Rita. So it doesn't apply to your employee wages. It only applied to the profits of companies.
And we get most of our net profits through Rita still anyway, not through the state. We get very little money that way. That's
So
all.
we would still be using Rita for.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the law didn't take your ability to do it yourself. What they did is they were lobbied by the accounting industry and a few others, and the Chamber of Commerce, I think, supported it, that they wanted to be able to file for all these different municipalities in one place at one time. And so they claim it's a significant savings to businesses. That was the justification for it.
They're
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
have,
I know. Go
they're
ahead.
gonna have to reconsider though, because without the ability to charge for it, they're gonna have to find that money somewhere else. So,
Yeah, because the way the legislation was written is that they had to use that money to pay for it. They didn't allocate any other money from any fund to pay for it. And the question now is, they're going to have to refund what they took out. There's not a lot for us, but for some communities, it could be a big number, like Columbus or Cleveland or some other cities. So there'll be more litigation on that issue.
yeah, it sounds like that part's gonna be a nightmare for the state to work through.
Yeah, there'll probably be some class actions filed.
Good times. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Sure. The legislative docket, the first item is ordinance number 2020-45. It's an ordinance granting a taxi cab franchise to Kelly Rettinger, doing business as Whispery Pines Carriage Rides, and declaring an emergency.
Okay, this is going to be introduced by Mr. Rocky on our safety committee.
They're granting so they're looking to run a carriage ride in the village. And are they here tonight? Can they speak on it?
She called today and said that she didn't know if they're about an hour and a half away. She wasn't sure if her internet connection would allow her to join in. So I don't know if Christy doesn't see her, then she's probably not on here.
No, she's not on.
She's not on.
Does anybody, I was trying to figure it out. Are these the same people that did it last year?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so I think it's relatively similar to what they did last year. My only concerns with it would be that I'd like to make sure that they follow the Ohio Department of Health's guidelines on taxis and rideshare, which is basically just, sanitizing and wearing masks. And I don't know if we can grant this in a state of emergency, but, put a request on them to follow it. But otherwise, they meet all the required village guidelines.
It's in the ordinance.
Does that fall under what the police chief can?
Yeah, I added
license for?
language this year
Okay.
that they had to, in section 2, that they had to comply with all state, county, municipal orders, rules, and regulations regarding COVID-19, in addition to all other laws, ordinances, rules, whatever.
Cool.
The chief asked me to put that in.
And the other thing is this contract goes into January of 22. So it's a year and some, because it keeps coming to us right before the holiday season. And
Right.
it seemed like maybe this would not be the best way for them to plan. It would be easier if we were doing it not in the middle of the time they tend to come. So.
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion, questions, conversation?
I have a quick question, Aaron, or I guess maybe it's for you and Andrew or anybody who knows. Do they get exclusive kind of rights to be the carriage of choice for the village? If somebody else comes in, is it an open policy? Can we have more than one provider?
We have had more than one in the past, and we can't legally limit it to just one carriage ride. We'd have to prove that there's no way you could safely allow for more than one franchise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's an anti-competitive act that could be violation of a number of federal laws.
Yes. So any.
It's a good question, Darren. It did come up a couple of years ago, and there was 2 people because of the non-compete, and then one dropped out, and it seems to be the same person every year getting the contract. And it seems to work really well.
Also, the horse is well taken care of, which has given us much consternation in the past.
Mayor, is Donna Murphy still help supporting this with the shopping?
I'll defer to Angie, who's spoken to her most recently. Instead
That's
of
what I
second
just
hand.
wanted to report, that Donna Murphy and I spoke today, and she will not be providing complimentary carriage rides this year due to the COVID situation. We have arranged with the carriage ride owner that they are welcome to use the plaza, but they have to provide their own ticketing service and take care of all the sanitizing and everything on their own. Previously, that's been done by the merchants, but given the restrictions on the number of people that can enter stores, merchants really don't want people climbing into their stores just to get a ticket to a free carriage ride. So she's decided she will resume in future years once we get past this. But this year, if these are provided, they will be on a paid basis through the carriage company themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other conversation on this piece? I appreciate all those details. Sorry, trying to look around.
Hopefully it's successful.
Okay, can I please have a motion to suspend the rules since we need to take care of this tonight?
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Newell with a second by Ms. Rogoff. Could we have a roll call, please?
Rube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
DiBernardo.
Aye.
And may we please have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Newell and a second by Rogoff. Roll call, please.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Group.
Aye.
Thank you.
Puts.
Okay, next item is ordinance number 2020-46, an ordinance amending ordinance 2020-36 to correct Scrivener's errors and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Rocky, back to you again.
Back to me. This is just to correct a few minor errors that we made in the vicious dog ordinance, changing where it says refers to section 1 to section 2 in a few places. Does anybody have any questions about the changes?
Nope. No questions? Okay. Could I please have a motion to suspend?
Somebody
moved.
else?
Okay, I
Second.
have a motion by Mr. Rocky and a second by Mr. Newell. Roll call, please.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel. Weigel.
Unmute.
Oh. DiBernardo,
Aye.
Group,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye. I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance 2020-46.
We have a motion by Newell,
Second.
Second.
second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Group,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky.
Aye.
Okay, this next item, my version has a title that should have been changed, and Christie might be able to answer it, but we were supposed to move the emergency to the end about declaring an emergency. And just the title's supposed to be an ordinance requesting the county fiscal officer to advance taxes from the proceeds of the 2020 tax levies pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 321.34 and declaring an emergency. Is that the form that you all have in front of you now?
No.
No.
We've got the emergency ordinance.
Okay.
We need to make a motion to amend it.
Yeah, although I thought that when it went out on Friday that it had been corrected, but apparently not.
We
Okay,
can make an amendment.
Sure.
Okay. Can
So
I-
instead of starting with an emergency ordinance, it would say an ordinance, and then at the end you add and declaring an emergency.
Can I move to adjust the
Amend.
title to say an ordinance requesting the county fiscal officer to advance from the proceeds of the 2020 tax levies pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 321.34 and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Motion by Grube, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Weigel, DiBernardo,
Aye.
Group,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff.
Aye.
Okay, let me read it again as amended then.
Yes.
An ordinance requesting the county fiscal officer to advance taxes from the proceeds of the 2020 tax levies pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 321.34 and declaring an emergency. That's ordinance number 2020-47.
Correct. Okay, so this is one of my favorite type of things we get to do in local government. It's slightly esoteric. So what we are doing here is we are asking the county to give us our tax dollars. If we do not do this, they will give us our tax dollars in May and then again in November. But by doing this, they will give us our tax dollars in January and then again in August. And these are the property taxes that we are talking about in this case. Does anybody have any questions? Because I love esoteric pieces of local government.
No, I think we should suspend the rules and move on.
I agree. So
I want to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Newell and a second by Ms. Rogoff. Roll call, please.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weibel.
Aye.
Motion to approve ordinance 2020-47.
Second.
Second.
I have a motion by Newell, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weibel,
Aye.
DiBernardo.
Aye.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I was very worried about that one.
We thwarted all of your questions on that esoteric piece. That's okay. You got another one coming up.
Mhm.
I know, right? This is another fun one. Mr. Markowitz, could you?
Yeah,
Everybody's in a very good mood tonight.
I'm making a note to Christie and myself to make sure that title gets switched.
Okay.
I didn't draft it, that's why it's.
You know,
different
I have to say something. This heading also says proceeds of the 2019 tax
19.
levy. And you guys read that as 2020, so I
Right.
hope,
But
All
mine
right.
says
The
2020.
actual ordinance is
Says
correct.
2020.
2020.
oh.
The
okay.
heading is wrong in the agenda.
All right, got it. Okay, never mind.
Never mind.
2020-48, Mr. Markowitz?
Okay, ordinance 2020-48 is an ordinance making temporary appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Chagrin Falls during and for the year ending December 31, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
So again, Finance Committee, you get me. So if we have to pass our state budget by the end of March, and between January and March, we do have expenses like payroll and you buy things like, I'm not sure what they buy. They buy things to run the village. So what this does is this allows them to do the basic parts of the functioning of the village until we pass our full budget. Very
Do
exciting.
we need to, because mine says an emergency ordinance, do we need to amend this one too? Or am I?
No.
No,
It says it
No.
We wanted to take effect immediately.
yeah, no, the title was done right when it was sent out.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's pretty standard. We do this every year, but it's
Yeah.
fun so that we can pay people in January. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2020-48.
Second.
Motion by Grube, second by Newell. Roll call, please.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weibel.
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye. And I would like to motion to adopt 2020-48.
Second.
Second.
Oh, give it to Rocky.
Okay, motion by Grube, second by Rocky. Roll call, please.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weibel,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell.
Aye.
Next item is ordinance number 2020-49, an ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into sub-grant agreements with the Chagrin Falls Exempted Schools, the Chagrin Falls Suburban Volunteer Firemen's Association, Inc., Hillcrest Hospital, University Hospital Geauga Medical Center, University Hospital Ahuja Medical Center, the United Methodist Church of Chagrin Falls, and Valley Lutheran Church, Inc., to make donations in the form of sub-grant agreements in the total amount of $116,877.76, said sum to be appropriated from the local coronavirus relief fund and declaring an emergency.
And this one is going to be introduced to us by none other than Mayor Tomko.
Yes, thank you. We exhaustively searched all of our expenses, and we've had to date. We recovered all of those. We recovered our anticipated needs, and we had a substantial amount of money left over. We then began to search in the community for people that were in need for Corona expenses. These things had to be expended by December 31st. And Dale, I believe it's actually the preschools, not the churches, that were making those contributions to. But we had the PPE request from the Valley Lutheran Preschool and the Methodist Preschool for PPE equipment. The high school had a need for individual desk dividers, 1,700, and I think I think it was 1,700 even desk dividers. And then the balance that was left over was allocated to the 3 hospitals to which we transport patients in EMS. So that is how we wound up. The one thing of particular interest that we're getting with our money is we're getting what's called a Moonbeam sterilizer. It's a UV light system, and all departments will have this available, but we can basically on a rotating basis sterilize the hallway, the break room, the police entrance area, the area that people are coming into. The council chambers are not being used extensively, nor anything else. They'll be available also to sterilize police cruisers, shoot building, and if anybody were to be sick in service or utilities, we can sterilize those trucks as well. We tried to pick those areas that would give the most direct benefit to the community and residents and would be directly related to COVID, which was the intention of the appropriation. So I have no other comments. I'll answer any questions.
Do we have any questions?
Mayor, if I could, the only beneficiary we haven't heard back from is Cleveland Clinic. I sent the form to their attorneys. They haven't gotten back to us. Everybody else has either signed it or is going to sign it. If we don't hear back from the clinic pretty soon,
I'll call Dr. Parker tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Should this stay on readings?
No, we want to pass it tonight.
No, it's got to be passed tonight. Obviously, if we don't get the Cleveland Clinic agreement, we won't do that. And that money would be returned to the state, as I understand it.
We have a spending deadline of November 20th or something, correct?
Oh, all right. I heard December 31st. That's all.
You have to have it encumbered by November 20th, which means a
Right.
purchase order.
All right.
Each
Let's
payment.
go grab it while we can.
If something happened and the clinic said we don't want it, we could always have an emergency meeting and reallocate it.
Correct.
We could meet again. Okay. Any other questions on this?
I think you're enjoying this entirely too much, Aaron.
I'm trying to have fun. I mean, you guys really loaded this up with like really fun finance stuff today.
Well, it's getting away from the kids too, I think.
That's really why she's smiling. She'd like this meeting to go on till about midnight and Kurt puts them to bed.
Well, with that said, I'm going to make a motion to suspend the 3 readings rule for this ordinance.
Second.
Look at you, Mr. Newell. Okay, motion by Mr. Newell, second by Mr. Rocky. Roll call, please.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Weigel,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky.
Aye.
Oh, excuse me 1 second. Angie, you.
Should I
thought
abstain on that as well?
Yeah,
Okay. Do we have to do
Yeah.
that over?
no, you just changed your vote to.
Okay, I checked to change my vote to abstain.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And can I please, we got through everybody, right? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
We got them all.
Okay, can I please have a motion to adopt then?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Newell, second by Rogoff. Roll call, please.
Weigel,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Abstain.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff.
Aye.
Okay,
Good times. Okay.
we've made some people happy. Ordinance,
If I could add one thing on that. So if we don't hear back from the clinic, I know everybody loves meetings as much as I do. But I would hope that we could meet again if we have to and reallocate that money rather than giving it back.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, for sure we'll do that, Nancy.
Okay.
I'm virtually positive the Cleveland Clinic will come through, but if they don't, we'll have another meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Mark.
ordinance, thank you. Ordinance 2020-50 is an ordinance adopting a policy regarding cardholder data for credit card payments and declaring an emergency.
So, me again.
Yep.
We have started taking credit cards, and so we have to protect credit card holder data. My apologies. Mr. Bloom, can you give us a little bit more on this one? I don't have any notes on this.
We need this ordinance, or we need this policy because the police department has entered into a new agreement for taking waivers, if I believe, or if I heard that right. And then also our utilities department is not taking credit card payments directly, but Katie is taking sometimes phone calls where people cannot access the new online system. So people are calling and asking her to put their card number in. A few, there aren't that many. And we need to have some kind of a policy in place that tells employees how to handle that data, which is basically don't take it. And if they do, to destroy it immediately when they're done with it.
For the most part, they're elderly people that are asking for help. They're having problem
Right.
with the system, and Katie, of course, helps them and promptly discards any credit card information they would have given. I think this is going to become more of an issue once we establish that the software can talk to the building department software, because we would like to get to where we could take credit cards for building permits and other things. We're not currently there because we haven't verified that the software can talk to each other.
And the cemetery will want to get the cemetery online as well.
I would assume
It
that.
would go together, correct.
So my understanding is we would be looking at policies to cover us taking credit card information directly for processing.
I think basically what we don't want to do is retain credit cards, in a file. We don't want to do that because, just because. And,
Right, yeah, okay.
and we want a policy that says we don't do that, and we discard any numbers that we took as trying to help people out.
Okay, any questions or any more discussion on the importance of discarding credit card information immediately after it is done being used? Nope, okay. I'm gonna be a rebel and motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2020-50.
Second.
And I have a second by Mr. Newell. Roll call, please.
Weigel?
Aye.
DiBernardo?
Aye.
Grube?
Aye.
Newell?
Aye.
Rocky?
Aye.
Rogoff?
Aye.
And then I'm gonna move to adopt 2020-50. You said second. I said second.
Rogoff.
I did.
Oh, thanks. Motion by Group, second by Rogoff. Roll call, please.
DiBernardo?
Aye.
Grube?
Aye.
Newell?
Aye.
Rocky?
Aye.
Rogoff?
Aye.
Weigel?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Markowitz.
Resolution number 2020-51, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit applications to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute all contracts as required for the wastewater treatment plant component upgrade and increase in flow capacity, and for water, sewer, and street improvements on Maple Street, and declaring an emergency.
That was a mouthful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Newell, could you give us some more information?
Yeah, it's not all that exciting, unfortunately. CT Consultants is putting together their magic with grant applications. and this has given them the authority to do that, and they do it on a point system. We're looking for every possible capital improvement expenditure that we're going to be doing next year and how much we can put into this application, which is partly why Maple Street is in this. It gives us more points in the application process.
Why?
So you got to go to the magic people at CT Consultants for that one. But I was told to do everything we can to get this thing passed. It doesn't need 3 readings unless I'm mistaken.
You're correct. It is a
Mr.
resolution.
Law Director. Okay.
You were correct.
So if anybody from CT wants to add to it, or the mayor or Rob.
If we win the lottery and we get Maple Street, what would it do?
Maple Street was added as a backup. Apparently, you've got to add, you got to have 2 projects. We put Maple Street in because it has 10,000 cars a day roughly on it. And it's also underneath Maple Street is a trunk sewer line that takes the flow from a number of different sewers. And as far as we know, it has an original water line to it. So we had the costs for East Washington Street. So basically, Tim took the per foot cost from that and applied it to Maple Street and added it as a second choice or a backup. We're not planning to do Maple Street unless we were to get that grant, in which case we would. But
that's kind of a long shot, is what we think.
It's a long,
I don't want to say it's there for filler, but
I just don't want
So
the
to answer your
residents on Maple
question-
Street to panic that we're about to shut down Maple Street after having shut down East Washington
And the bridge.
and still worrying about the bridge somewhere in the future.
yeah.
Just-
Yeah, I think
Well, that's part of our plan. Aaron, we'll shut down Maple Street and the bridge at the same time.
Don't say these things.
And then,
Not
and
true.
then
Not
anybody
true.
that wants to have a street
No.
party won't have to call for permission.
Right, because everything will
Because
be
there won't
closed.
be any traffic.
Exactly.
It's a pandemic. You're not supposed to be going anywhere
Right.
anyway.
It's
There
good.
you go. There you
Vaccines
go.
coming. Okay, friends.
Interesting plan. I like it. Okay.
Mr.
I'd
Noel.
like to make a motion to approve resolution number 2020-51.
Second,
I have a motion by Newell, second by Rogoff. Roll call, please.
Grube,
Aye.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm into shenanigans here. Are we ready?
Yeah. You got to add this.
So the Ohio Municipal League, which as you all are aware, we are members of, on their Friday legislative bulletin recommended that member organizations or member municipalities, if you will, pass a resolution encouraging the governor and the state house to pass an extension to House Bill 197. House Bill 197 is what is allowing us to meet today virtually, and that expires on December 1st, which is in 21 days. Technically 20 days since this day is basically over, which really means that our first meeting in December, unless they pass something, will have to be here in council chambers in person. And as we see the rise in COVID rates, that seems like not the best decision. So this came in after the agenda was done. So I have a resolution which has been emailed out to council, and I am going to motion to add resolution 2020-52 to the agenda for tonight.
Second.
And I have a motion by group, second by DiBernardo. Roll call, please.
Newell,
Aye.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Grube.
Aye. Okay, so now we can discuss it. So this resolution.
We gotta read
Oh,
the title.
Sorry, can you please read it for us? Sorry, I got ahead of myself there.
Okay, resolution number 2020-52, a resolution to urge Governor DeWine and the Ohio Legislature to extend a deadline for operating public meetings electronically and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Has everyone had an opportunity to read this? Otherwise, we can pull it up on the screen share so we can see it now. It is short. I promise it is not complicated. Okay, everyone seems pretty
We've seen
comfortable.
it. Yeah.
So basically, for everyone else out there in the world, basically it says that there's a problem. We have COVID going on. We need to meet for the health of our board members and our council members and our staff remotely during the pandemic. And we are asking and encouraging Governor DeWine and all members of the State House to pass an extension. And the extension in our recommendation, which is what Ohio Municipal League has suggested, is that the extension for virtual meetings should be allowed until 30 days after the end of the state of emergency order.
Aaron, and this is entirely consistent with the CDC's recommendation today that you continue to work at home for as long as possible. That was a new recommendation CDC came out with. And I wholeheartedly support this resolution and, ask council to support it.
Any questions, guys? I'm sorry to throw this on the agenda like this last minute. Obviously, it's not ideal.
No, it's a good catch. It's good that you did this.
Well, then I would move to adopt 2020-52.
Second.
Motion by Group, second by Newell. Roll call, please.
Rocky,
Aye.
Rogoff,
Aye.
Wyval,
Aye.
DiBernardo,
Aye.
Group,
Aye.
Newell.
Aye.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Okay. Council committee reports, administration and compensation.
I have nothing to report this evening other than that we will get back to Mayor Tomko with the request to meet to talk about the cost of living increase and the potential change in providers. So I'll get with the rest of the
Darren, I assume you want that meeting to be via Zoom?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good. I just need to coordinate with Bob Smith and Tom Warble.
Okay.
Arts Commission,
No report tonight.
Board of Zoning Appeals.
We have a meeting on the 11th at 7:30 for the Solar Lane lot consolidation.
Okay.
Solar Lane, sorry.
The Cemetery Commission, we will meet on Wednesday at 11:30, going through the space at what was formerly known as the Fireman's Circle. And we expect the new columbarium to be received in the next 3 to 4 weeks. They are currently putting the walls together and the roof on.
Wow.
And then at the last meeting in October, we talked about our grave count. We have about 90 full burial graves available. We bury about 35 people a year. So we are, obviously working with the mayor and the administration to work towards the expansion that we've been talking about for the last few years. So be prepared to hear more about that. Communications.
No report tonight.
Facilities and services.
Jan Evans.
Oh, no, that's
Nancy.
That's Nancy.
No report.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Finance Committee, we met and we worked with the owner of 13 Bell Street. Some more detailed questions came up about the type of pavement that would go into the leased space. And so she is now working with the administration and they're going to come back to us with a little bit more ready to go contract and recommendation because we were getting into the weeds, which was.
I would anticipate we should be able to come back to council and the meeting on the first one in December. I think that's what, December 9th, my memory serves me right.
Yep. Okay. Parking Commission.
No report tonight.
Parks Commission.
Parks Commission talked about, reviewed a proposal for a parks application. I thought that it was online, but I don't think that it is. I haven't seen it. So I'll get a copy of it and send it around for everybody to look at and comment on and possibly vote on it at the next meeting.
Okay. Planning and Zoning Commission.
Planning and Zoning meets Monday, November 16th at 7 o'clock. We're reviewing some modifications and changes to 87 West Street. That's the former Bull and Bird.
Thanks. Okay. Safety Committee.
No report.
Shade Tree Commission.
No report.
Streets and Sidewalks, Ms. Evans is not here. Utilities Committee.
We have nothing to report because everything is moving slowly. No progress on the wastewater plant. I will let you know when it moves. No pun intended.
Thank you.
Okay, Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Madam President. We are hosting our recycling drop-off drive for election campaign signs. Now that the election's over, you can bring them down to the Village Service Garage at 240 Solon Road anytime now through November 20th, between the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. The drop-off area for the signs is right to the right when you pull in the driveway. There's a sign marking the area, and you'll see a pallet there with quite a few signs already. It's a pretty popular program, and we encourage everybody to bring their unused election signs down. Leaf collection is underway in the village. You've probably seen our big red truck out and about making their rounds. We're averaging one pass through the village each week. So we encourage people to get their leaves raked out as quickly as possible so we can get them picked up for you. Our final pass around the town starts on Monday, November 30th. So we try to let everyone know that's the deadline to get your leaves out, and we'll get them all picked up. And then my final note is, I know Tim will probably have a better update on the East Washington Street project, but I do want to encourage anybody that hasn't turned in their participation agreements that were sent those in the mail along with their explanation letter. Please have those back to us by Monday, November 30th. We'll be scheduling the lining of the private sanitary laterals in early November or early December, and we'd like to get all that secured. So far, we sent 125 letters and we received about 40 responses back, and we're getting more here and there starting to trickle in. So we'd like to encourage people to participate.
I second Rob's comment. It's very important because the deal we're offering the homeowners is at our cost, and it's significantly less than they would be able to secure that relining if their system needs it. Each of the laterals has been cameraed, and we have actual video footage of what the condition is, and they were notified if we recommend them to get the sewer relined, and they can look at it. If they have any questions, call us.
Can I add something to that, please?
Yes, sure, Ludia.
Hi, I just want to clarify that only from North Main up to people who live up to Ridge Road, which is plot A, B, and C, have got sent their letters. So that's actually only like 88 of them. Plot D, which is from Ridge Road up to Panini's,
yes,
across the line. Those cleanouts have only been installed within like the past week, and we are in the process of sending out those letters. So just that people don't get confused. If you live from Ridge Road up to Panini's, those letters will be getting sent to you shortly.
Perfect.
I'm getting them ready as we speak.
What the?
I just want to clarify that. Sorry. But he is right. We have 40 participation agreements so far out of the 88 we sent. And actually, that's like more than 50% because some of them actually don't need their lateral line. So we have a huge amount of people who want to do that.
I went up last Friday and watched a lateral lining, and for council, if you haven't done that and you're curious, it doesn't take long. It's well worth going up. It's really a fascinating process to see how they do that. So anyhow, for what it's worth, it's a worthwhile trip.
And as taxpayers, the school's getting theirs done too, right?
I'll defer to Lydia as to where that.
Sorry. Okay, ignore my question. I don't want to put everybody on the spot. No, I'm not going to put you on the spot. Anything else from Mr. Jamison's report?
I have a question. What's the cost per foot that we are offering to the residents?
It's $22 per foot.
22. Okay.
Much cheaper than
Yeah,
you do it yourself.
I had it done, looked at, and it was like $133 a foot when I had my house looked at. So.
And then your yard sinks over time as it settles. It's
No, that was to do the lining, $133 a foot.
Yeah, that's be about right. So I mean, they're never ever going to be able to get their lateral brought up to what it needs to be cheaper than what we're offering to do it at.
Yeah, it was too cheap to do that. They dug it out and put in a new pipe. Okay.
You can't dig mine out.
Lannon. Mr. Lannon.
Hey, thank you. But, one issue with lateral lining, and then mostly speaking about the public side within the right of way, is apparently the materials took a while to get ordered, and they're just now installing those. So we've seen this coming for a while, but it's all but official that we won't be paving the road this year. And the primary consideration is the lateral lining continues. I give it a 1% chance that a lateral liner could get twisted and solidify in a twisted position, have to be dug up. So there's a risk of digging up the road, and we just didn't want to rush a decision to pave and then have to go dig a hole in the new pavement, while the asphalt was still hot. So basically the paving will be deferred until spring, and that'll allow us to work the way through the lining process, and then even get into the private side lining, which is, that has taken obviously a lot of time to get the notifications out, wait for the returns, give people a second and third chance to reply, because what's in the best interest, being the primary goal of the project, to reduce I&I into the sanitary sewer.
Yeah.
Jim, do you know where the school stands?
I do.
Yeah.
I was waiting for my turn.
Go ahead. As far as Lydia, you can fill us in on the underground work, the wrap up there in the schools.
Wait, so is it my turn now? Okay, cool. So in regards, jumping into the East Washington project and skipping to the private side laterals, as Rob has mentioned, once we're done with the public side, we will be moving to the private side. There's two things that's happening. One, some of these need actually heavy cleaning, which meaning they have a lot of roots in their lateral. So I had talked to our subcontractor, United Survey, and we will be lining that up in the terms of we're gonna line everybody up in 1 day or 2 days, depending on how many needs it, to have their lateral heavy cleaned, which will essentially take the cost of heavy cleaning down, because the contractors only have to bring the special equipment out once. And then in regards, they are also gonna get a second letter, because we will be relooking at everybody's lateral who had agreed to do it, to give them a more accurate price, which meaning is that when we televised it, we just went off, the TV footage. And that's always off a little bit, because it's like on a extension cord almost. Well, people who don't know what the push camera looks like. But we're gonna remeasure it, and we're gonna give them an accurate price of how much it will cost and when we will do their lateral, and then people have like a more good idea. And then in terms of the high school, I am working on a report, but I am in contact with the high school, and they have their separate engineering, separate civil engineer. They are going to do it. I'm working on giving them a price of how much it costs and everything. I have reviewed everything with the subcontractor, and I'm almost done with my report. So I will send that to them. And then I believe the high school will talk to their Board of Education, I don't know, somebody who will approve it. But yeah, they are definitely very interested in lining what needs to be lined on their side. There's parts that need lined, and there's parts that don't need lined. And then in regards to the high school, we also are adding another manhole on East Washington. Reason being, there is the high school ties, the entire high school sanitary system ties into East Washington, and it has an 8-inch lateral connection to the 8-inch main of East Washington. But the problem is that where the connection was made is a hammer tap. So basically that means that the connection was only 6 inches. So the connection to the main is actually too small for the lateral. And if this would be just one house, this wouldn't be an issue. But since since it's the entire sanitary system of the high school, we are going to be adding a manhole at that location to fix that issue and have a full 8-inch connection to the main. This work will be scheduled for Wednesday, I believe. So there's that. And then for Plug D, I will send out the letters hopefully by next week. Whoever's going to get their letters next week obviously has a little bit more time to think about it because they got their letters like 6 weeks later than everybody else. And then the storm sewer replacement in front of the post office for people who has been going to the post office for the past week. It's been under construction, but we're almost done. We actually finished the entire storm sewer replacement. So what they're going to be working on tomorrow is setting the manhole castings and the catch basins, and then that should be done minus the refilling of the concrete part. And then tomorrow we will also be paving. As paving the little section of North Main. There is one block that we took out, like it's like a 22 by 7 foot section in the middle of downtown when we did our water main tie-in there. And we will be taking out that concrete, and it's just going to be like a pavement repair. We're worried that that concrete will not last over the winter, hence we're going to be putting in asphalt. And it's going to be good weather for the next week, and it's going to be reasonable enough to do a full pavement repair with asphalt. And that should fix everything. And then right-of-way from the public side, lateral should be done by the end of the month. Everything goes smoothly, we'll see. And then we will just doing the private side and the high school, and then everything should be done.
Fantastic. I really appreciate the construction traffic updates you send us or you send me. People,
I don't know who's
what's going on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I appreciate it. It's been very helpful.
Yeah, and in case anybody has noticed, there's new signs so people know where to go to the post office.
Those are very helpful, Lydia.
Yeah, thinking back, we should have done those maybe like 3 months ago. I would have had a lot of headaches, but you know,
it's okay.
But it's all good. Yeah. So, but that basically means that all the construction, like open cut roads and everything with our main contractor will be done by end of the week, and then they'll just be here next week to do restoration, everything. But then our main contractor will not be on site anymore, and will just be lining work. And just in case people are worried, you can line up to like 20 Fahrenheit. So we'll be working through the winter.
Fantastic.
If needed.
Okay, any more questions on this, on the East Washington?
Yeah, we are planning on reopening, once they're done lining, we are planning on reopening the road and then closing it again when we come to paving, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now we're gonna leave it closed for the next 3 months. Sorry.
Okay, winter is long here. You know.
No, yes, it'll be open. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from engineering? Okay. Report of the police chief.
Just a real quick plug for Shop with a Cop. We are going to do that this year. It's going to be modified so that we are taking COVID precautions. So it's going to look a little different, but we are still going to do it, and we are seeking donations. The officers are also doing the No Shave November this year, but we're not seeking outside donations. The officers are raising it amongst themselves. We'd rather focus on the Shop with a Cop because we feel like we can do more for the community that way. So, sorry, my dog is making noise.
Should I bring Nelson into the party?
Yeah.
So that
I mean, we would not judge you if your dog was on camera. I mean, it's quite acceptable.
He tried to be earlier, so.
You don't expect me to say anything about a dog coming to the meeting, do you?
Yeah, so he's a little wild, so he'll go away. But that's all I got. Just, you know, if you're interested or if anybody wants to put that on their webpage, I'll send it out to the mayor tomorrow, the announcement for it. And like I said, we are going to be taking COVID precautions this year. So.
Yeah, and we want to get that information disseminated as widely as possible, the solicitation of donations, because I mean, it's something that's 100% goes to 100% of the money donated goes to the cause, and it's really needed where it's spent. So,
cool. Yeah, happy to share that too.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
A report of the fire marshal.
The only thing we have to report is one thank you for the village.
That's
not
my
Frank.
We
Yeah,
don't have a face.
Yeah, I know. I'm at home. I don't
It's
want
not
to.
Frank either.
You don't look like Frank.
No, I shaved the mustache.
For the record, this is Fire Marshal Jim Maloney.
Yeah, exactly, Jim Finley.
Fire Chief Frank Sugan. Okay, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
Okay, it's Finley, by the way.
Finley.
Um,
Jim Finley.
Sorry, I always.
It's okay. Thank you for the moonbeam. We've already used it. It's already been put into effect. It's an interesting machine, but we're very happy to have it and share it with everybody else in the village like it's intended. And I don't know if you guys heard of COVID or not, but
What is that?
yeah, exactly. One of our firefighters has contracted it.
Oh, no.
One of our younger firefighters, he's symptomatic. He's doing well. He's got about one more week in isolation. He wasn't around us. He got it at his full-time job where 7 other firefighters contracted it. So wear your mask and wash your hands. That is all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Finley.
Yes, Madam President.
Okay. Members of the public to speak to any matter. If you are on Zoom, you can use the raise your hand function. And we can answer questions and have a grand old time together. Do you have anyone raising their hand?
I don't see any hands raised, Aaron.
Okay. Let's see. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. Angie, do you want to give a plug for any of the stuff you're doing?
I'll give a little tiny mini report. Just the merchant committee that the mayor formed in the last week has been busy meeting basically weekly, trying to get together stuff for the holiday season. Since there is, as we've heard, COVID, it will look different. But I would like to plug one thing that we have figured out a way to have a socially distant Santa visit. And as you may know, our Santa has an uncanny resemblance to Mayor Tomko. And Santa will be sitting in the back of our Christmas sleigh, separated by a plexiglass divider from the front seat, so that children who may want to have their picture taken with Santa can sit in the front of the sleigh and have their picture taken safely with Santa this year. And as we know, that is also outdoors. So we're hoping people will come down to Chagrin and visit Santa as well. The Grinch will also be shopping in town because he loves this place. So he'll be around every weekend as well. Everything else that we're putting together, we're gonna have a scavenger hunt. We're gonna have luminaries in the Riverside Park that'll be beautiful. Will all be things families can do independently so that we don't have gatherings. And hopefully we'll get a press release out to the paper so everyone can plan to get involved. And please shop local, we need it.
Yeah, thank you for all the work you're doing on it. It's a lot, and thank you.
I have one.
Okay,
that
go
I'll block. The Chagrin Valley JCs Lighting the Greens.
Yes.
They will be starting this coming Saturday. So expect to see them out there working hard. Whoop.
And Rocky, I made my contribution to lunch.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the lunch plan this year was wonderful. In case people weren't familiar with that, Give Chagrin Valley always feeds the JCs while they decorate. And what they decided to do this year was, instead of making things and having delivered to town hall, they asked people to donate $10 towards a boxed lunch and purchase lunches from all area restaurants to be given to the JCs. And they raised a significant amount of money, is my understanding, towards that, which will all go back into our local economy.
They're excited for food. Anytime you provide food, we get like lots of people who show up. So
Free food has that way about it.
Yeah.
Okay, any other miscellaneous items? No. Okay, so we are technically supposed to meet the Monday before Thanksgiving. Traditionally, we have always canceled that meeting. We'll leave it on the agenda just in case, but the intention will be that we won't meet the Monday before Thanksgiving. So you can have a whole week with your family without us. We will have a special meeting though, just in case if the clinic does not sign the agreement for the carriage dollars, we would then have a special meeting though before that expires. So, okay, my friends, it has been fun.
Aaron.
And I'm going to officially adjourn this meeting at 8:05 p.m. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.